buttermilk crispy chicken? Let's find out.
It's probably the best sandwich I've ever had.
It's super crispy, but it's also really juicy.
So would you guys come back?
Yeah.
Of course, definitely. Well, here's our car. The location is on the back. It's McDonald's? What? What?
Oh, get out
No way.
Wait, seriously?
Try some buttermilk crispy chicken. It's right around the corner at McDonald's. Buttermilk.
Good morning. This is Brad Atwell with Coach Jeff Griffith on Ask the Coach of the Barron County Trojans after a 41-6 win last night, traveling over to Grayson County. And Coach, it's good to get to come in this morning and talk about a W.
Feels good to come in on a W. I thought our players played really well last night and played extremely hard and kind of got what they deserved in terms of their effort and execution. As I told them last night, I just felt like it was a lot of pent-up frustration kind of coming out last night over the last 4 or 5 games, and proud of the way we played.
Looking at the game last night, probably as well offensively, defensively, and special teams, and we put together 4 quarters that I've seen all year.
No question about it. I thought that offensively we came out and we were physical up front like we've kind of been building towards, and we threw the ball and caught it well and ran extremely hard and did that. And then as defensively, especially early on, we were really swarming the football and swarming the veer offense that they're running and did a good job of tackling. And our special teams, we except for maybe one kickoff return where they returned it almost to midfield, I thought our special teams coverage was good. We kicked it well. And, overall a good effort from the Trojans last night.
Offensively, ran 30 or total offensive yards, ran 39 plays for 492 yards. And that's just that's a good night when you can have those numbers of offense. Haven't been able to do that all year. It's been a while since we had all of our cylinders clicking. And last night the run game was there. We were able to throw the ball. And when you can put both of those things together, when you can establish the run so you can throw it, it sure helps things. And, we didn't throw the ball a whole lot. I think we threw the ball maybe 6 times. And out of that, it was 5 for 6, and I think with 1 interception. And but man, the run game was just there. Everybody that touched the football last night, it seemed like that they had it. They were on a mission.
Well, it was just a good job of execution, and of course, 490 yards or whatever it was. That's a lot, but you get that type of yardage when you get big plays. And last night was something that we had gotten in terms of big plays and easy scores that we talk about that we haven't gotten in 6 or 7 weeks really. And we got several big plays last night of 50 yards or more, and that's what you got to have. When you get plays like that and get the other team on their heels, the game ends up 41-6, and we've been on the other end of those a couple of times this year as well. So we know what it feels like, and it was good to be on the winning end of it.
You're going in at half up 34-0. That had to be a confidence booster for our guys after, just some of the heart-wrenching losses we've had and not been able to execute as well as what we had liked to. That had to have been a big boost going in at half last night.
No doubt about it. I mean, we were really excited about it. And of course, even in the 2 wins that we had this year, it had been close games. I mean, especially the Taylor County game, obviously, but it was good to be able to go in the half and just kind of relax and breathe a little bit and enjoy it. And I thought our players and coaches both did that, and thought we came out in the second half and also, handled ourselves for the most part in a good fashion and, continued to play hard and finish the game up.
One thing that I noticed in the game last night was the number of penalties. And it seems that all year long we've not been plagued with penalties. And last night, I think we ended up with 13 penalties for a total of 120 yards. And from the aspect of watching it from the stands, it looked like only one of the referees had a flag last night.
Well, it seemed that way on our sideline too. The same guy kept calling everything, but after watching the film, I'm not sure what he saw on especially a few of the holding calls. There's a lot of other things that can be judgment calls by officials, and jumping off sides are part of it. But My goodness, I mean, as still in saying that, we can't do that. And as well as we played last night, there's always something that's you did poorly, and obviously we didn't handle penalties and didn't play clean in that area because we had kind of cleaned that up. We hadn't had a lot of penalties the last couple of games, but it showed up last night. Fortunately, we were able to overcome it.
That's a big win last night. I think if what I understand now that we're number 3, knowing that Bowling Green did beat Greenwood last night. I really thought that game might be a little bit closer than it was, but Bowling Green handled them pretty well. Also, going in now to playoffs, I mean, we've got another game to look forward to. Our last home game is next week. Play Edmonson County here at Trojan Field. But looking ahead, if I understand correctly, be going to Christian County for a first-round playoff game.
Well, it was looking a little sketchy there at halftime of the game. I'm good friends with Christian County's head coach, and he was at the game because he wanted to see who he was going to play or who he thought, and he said, "Heck, we may not be playing at all because Owensboro was down most of the game to Graves last night and ended up coming back and winning 20-19. So that kind of kept everything in line. So we will be going to Christian first round of the playoffs. But I'm just happy for our guys to they've been doing a really good job. It's tough to come to practice when you've lost 4 and 5 straight games, and they've really done a good job, especially the last couple of weeks coming off the break, preparing and working hard through the week and putting going out on the field on Friday night and executing. And I was glad we got the win last night, and we need to have another great week this week and prepare for our final home game and senior night and against a good Edmonson County team.
Looking at the game last night, looking at the game the week before, down at Bowling Green. Of course, we talked about that last week also. Just how that our guys performed, and that did come over into last night's game. I mean, just all out, a different kind of energy. Hey, I want the ball, and when I get the ball, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to on offense. On the defensive side of the ball last night, same thing. I'm going to execute what I'm supposed to do, and just like you said in the first half, they flew to the football. You never saw one guy making a tackle. There was usually always at least 3 there, and sometimes as many as 5 or 6. But that has to be encouraging when you go and sit down and watch film with these guys to say, boys, this is what it looks like when you execute and you fly to the football and you do what you're supposed to do. This is what we're going to see happen.
Well, I think they realized, and we've kind of been talking about it, but if they come to play in the game with a chip on their shoulder and great effort, and you've got to play with a little. It's not. Football's a game where you got to play with a little bit on edge, a little bit, and we've done that the last 2 weeks. And they realized after the Bowling Green game, because Bowling Green's a really good football team, and we were competitive with them, not because we were all of a sudden became really talented. It was the same guys, but you've got to have a level of play when you're playing the game, no matter who you're playing. And we brought that same level, and that's what they tried to do last night, and we did, and we got a positive result from it.
All right. Well, we're going to go for a short break and hear from our sponsors, and we'll be back on WCOU Sports with Ask the Coach with Coach Jeff Griffith of the Barron County Trojans.